Prostitution is often called the world's oldest profession, but the young people featured in our report haven't made a career choice. They're trapped in a cycle of exploitation.
The industry makes over $32 billion in sex trafficking.
Tragically, sex trafficking is a growing and lucrative industry around the world.
Here, half the women admit to having offered up at least 2 children for money.
Half of the kids who are out of school in the world today are rural, who are very poor, and oftentimes are girls.
They simply survive.
The Dare for More story is kind of a wild one, to be honest with you. For years we've ministered in the United States to women. Then the Lord just threw global into our lap in a way we weren't expecting. I got invited to come and speak at a conference in the Dominican Republic. That really changed everything for us. Because we met women there who'd been rescued from trafficking. We met little girls who'd been rescued from trafficking. We met women in great crisis. And on top of that, we were able to sit down around a table with leaders, safe house leaders, rescuers, and hear their stories and hear what was happening. And the thing we heard over and over again was, we need help. We develop partnerships with people that are already on the ground, that have a heart, whether it be a startup and they're just at the very beginning, or whether they're kind of been struggling along with it and they need us to come alongside and help. And we're able to pour in, and we're able to meet those needs that they were dying to have somebody meet. And we're watching God do amazing miracles through that. When I met Joy Reyes, it was like God sucker punched me, but in a really good way. Because I stood here with her on this mountain overlooking a barrio where evil is just so bad and where darkness is so prevalent, and where she is fighting every day for the lives of girls 5 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old. And my mind can hardly wrap around that, but I remember being there that day and looking at these little girls' faces and knowing that God had knit my heart with joy and with what they were doing there at New Hope. And they were one of our first partners. And we've watched New Hope grow from that little dirt floor and that little structure that was like, you gotta be kidding. I can't believe they're rescuing girls here, to this beautiful place that is safe, and it's a place where the girls can go and grow and where they can really flourish. Joy says it like this, and I love what she says: we want the same thing for these girls that you want for your daughter.
I enjoy it. I mean, just when I walk through those gates, I just see their faces and just see what we could provide, what God has provided for them, and it just, it just brings a smile to my face.
Allie Hale is the reason I went to the Dominican Republic. When I got down there, I was blown away at what Allison and some of the women in her church were doing. They're women in their local community, were also living on less than $1 a day, many of them, and they were struggling in major ways just to put food on the table. They were going out to the street and prostituting themselves for like $1.50 a night in order to come in and buy rice and beans. And when the women of this church found out about this, these brave, bold women hit the streets.
And so we started going out on the streets and talking to them about God's purpose for their life, as well as a way that they could earn money with dignity.
And Allison is incredibly gifted at making jewelry. She's an artist. She has an artist eye. So she took her skill set and she said, we will teach these women how to make jewelry.
Yo he aprendido mucho, porque he aprendido a bregar con las prendas. Aprendimos a hacer chancleta con tejido, hacer alfombra, y se aprendió muchas cosas, manicure.
And so we've been partnering with Allison and the Women of Mercy for several years now. Also the Lifehouse girls, those little girls, even some that have been abandoned, some that are parents have died due to crisis points in their life. And so rescuing these little girls really from birth all the way through to they graduate from high school and they're ready to step out onto their own. And Dare for More was such a huge part of that. Recently we were so excited. They needed a larger location. They had grown so much that they needed a bigger place. Their people got behind building the building, and Dare for More Ministries got behind furnishing the house. And now it is full of girls.
Bueno, hemos recibido diferentes clases de ayuda. Por ejemplo, lo que es la casa anteriormente era un poco más pequeña, no teníamos espacio para recibir más niñas, ropa, zapatos, diferentes cosas.
Y útiles
escolares.
Útiles escolares. Pero muy buena todo, gracias a Dios.
Bueno, hemos tenido logros porque, o sea, por lo regular ya las que tenemos están en los caminos del Señor, gracias al Señor. Y han hecho ya profesión de fe, han sido bautizadas y están creciendo en su vida espiritual.
O sea, tenemos más o menos como un 80% de las que han venido, han hecho profesión de fe, incluso algunas fueron adoctrinadas y fueron bautizadas también por nosotros.
One of the first things we did is we wanted to take women to come and see, because I know that even though I had heard terms like trafficking and people living on less than $1 a day, you really don't know what that means until you go see. And not as a way of sitting back and going, ooh, look at the crisis, but as a way of saying, oh wow, how can we love on you? How can we pray for you? How can we be a part of your life in a more relevant way than what we are right now? And so we started Women on Mission, which is women going on missions trips. These women began to join us and they went to our partner facilities and they began to see the needs, the work, the miracles, what God was doing. And that was, these women, we were helping them create sustainability by making a product so they could survive. We were like, okay, ladies, you know, maybe you could buy something. You could go on a trip, you could come and see. And that's exactly what started happening. Women started coming on trips with us. They started pouring into projects. And then the women have this opportunity to sit and say, hey, meet the woman who made this bag. And then they get to take that bag home with them and purchase it. They've helped put food on this woman's table and give her a dignified wage and a dignified job. Close to 300 women have joined us on mission at this point. And then they come home and pray. And that for us is the biggest thing. Part of our trip is huge prayer walks. And so what I'm excited about is that now we have at least 300 women somewhere around the globe that are actually praying for these women and for these groups and for the leadership, and they feel it. And that's a really big deal. As you've watched this, if you've seen or heard something that you've really connected with in your heart, then we hope that you will connect with us. We need your help at Dare for More. We don't want to do this without you, and we really can't. So I hope you'll join us. Go to our website, dareformore.org, and find out how you can pray, how you can give, and how you can go. And we hope to see you somewhere on a trip with us.